of what you would like in your life. So in terms of, if we're to think of some of the essentials and things that most people want in their life, like a car, house, holidays, some money for taking the kids out, weekends away, hobbies, your bills, things like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at them all. Now, what I want you to think of is when you're adding these up, so I'm going to show you what to do in a minute, and you're going to follow me, and you're going to come away with your own dream pot off the back of this, and then we're going to start building some strategy on next week for you to hit your dream pot. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of a particular thing. So for example, car. So you might have car, you might have house, you might have hobbies, you might have a watch, if you're into your watches, you're going to have bills, what else you're going to have? Bills, watch, hobby, personal development. So I always have a big pot for my personal development because your results are an extension of you. They'll never ever get any better than what you are. So if you don't improve yourself, you will never ever get better. So when you've got your list of things, so I want you to think of all of the things. So your house, your car, hobbies, bills, maybe you've got children's dancing lessons or your children's hobbies, whatever that may be. It might be you want so much money for your mum or dad or children for helping them on the property ladder or whatever that is. Somebody's wrote on there, private school for kids, yeah. So thanks for that, Dean. So what I want you to do is write what they are, and you might have, holidays as well. That's so you might have like holidays. So let's say, for example, I'm going to leave these two, and I'll tell you why I'm going to come back to them. So hobbies, you might have, I don't know, let's say 10k a year for your hobbies. So that's probably excessive. Watch, I don't know, you might want 2k a year for a new watch. Bills, you might need 10k a year for your bills. Personal development, let's say 10k. Holidays, you might want 20k for your holidays. Now, your house and your car, I want you to think of this, because people often think that they need more money than what they do. So I'll tell you now, you absolutely don't. 100 grand a year, 120 grand a year puts you in the top 1% of earners in this country. Just 120 grand a year. Now, there's not a big difference. I'm going to show you something else in a minute on margins. There's not a big difference of, if for example, let's say you needed 25 grand a year, and 25 grand a year put food on the table, it paid your mortgage or your rent, it put fuel in your car, and it got you to work. So it gives you all your sort of basic things to sort of operate in life. So to eat, car to work, tax, car tax, MOT, all of those sort of basic things, your bills and things like that. Let's say that was 25 grand a year. Now, if you were making 24,900 a year and you were just £100 short, that's all we're talking, so 25 grand's the amount you need. If you were making just 24,900 and you had £100 deficit, that means something has to give. So that means you don't have fuel to put in your car for a couple of weeks. Or maybe you can't afford the MOT. Maybe you can't put food on the table for a couple of meals because you're £100 short. Now, let's look at it the other way. You need 25 grand, as we've just said, but you've now got 27 grand a year. you've now got only £2,100 more than the person that can't pay the bills and struggling and maybe stressed. That 2,100 difference is the difference of you now having all of your basic amenities covered, and you've got £2,000 to go away on a family holiday or some weekends away. So there's a fine margin and in life, and the difference between struggling and being well off is not as big as what you think. I'll tell you that now. And it is mega easy to build £100,000 a year income from property. It's really, really easy to do that. So this particular building, this one building that I'm in now, that I'm converting, yes, albeit it's a big building, I get that. But this building will clear £100,000 a year just off one project. So I'm pretty sure if the kid at school who didn't get any grades, wasn't particularly bright, can learn how to do that, then you can learn how to do that too. And if you've got a coach or a mentor, somebody who can help you go straight to them results and show you what to do, what to buy, where to look for it, you're going to get there a hell of a lot quicker as well. So the point that I'm making is you don't need as much money as you think. Now, here's something else which you would get. There's very few people in my situation would admit this to you, what I'm going to admit. And that is, my car that I drive, most people would want you to think that I bought that outright. And they would say, oh yeah, bought that with loose change. I never put anything down on that car at all, not even £1. Because I didn't want to, because I got it on 0% finance. So why would I want to tie any of my money into a car when I can use that money to put into assets to create me money? So I put nothing into that car at all, nothing. And you'll get very few people that'll admit that. What I did was I went to BMW and I'd sat in the car loads of times, and I'd been doing that for years, visualising me driving that BMW i8, and I tell the story of this, and I always remember the woman saying, like, looking at me as if to say, fucking hell, here's that bloke back again to sit in the i8. And eventually I bought it. I remember her looking at me and saying, oh, have you come to look at the i8? And I said, no, I've come to buy it. And what I'd done was I paid for that out of my assets. So that car cost me 1,200 quid a month, and it's paid for out of the business. So you don't need anywhere near as much money as you think you do. So dead quickly, your car, it might only be 10 grand a year to have a really, really flash car. And your house might be the same. So if you add them up, your total, that is your dream pot total. So what would you like to have in your life? Add them all up and see what that figure is. So let's say we had 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 72 grand. So we're going to say we had 72 grand. Now that figure there, all we've got to do now is reverse engineer it and hit that figure. So that's it for today. I'm finished. Next week, I'm going to show you how you now start to hit that figure. And it's a lot easier than what you think it is. So if you've enjoyed that, give us a like, give us a thumbs up.